on the outside, everything looked put together, right? But behind closed doors, oh baby, I was cutting up. You wouldn't the conversations me and the Lord had, it is his grace and mercy that allows me to still be here today.
Jesus answered and said to her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is who says to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water."
Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for you to be here. Again, if this is your first time here, which it probably is because this is only the second episode, my name is Leasia Flemings. Welcome to the Woman at the Well podcast channel, where we read, talk, and heal together. So obviously the Bible being our foundational text, we're going to be using that to kind of just dive into different aspects of this walk of life. I'm an avid reader as well, so I'll be, pulling from different kinds of resources that I, dive into a little bit. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, definitely please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos that will be posted. And again, please do like this video so it reaches other people who are also interested in this kind of content. So yeah, just want to get that out the way and just kind of jump into what we're talking about today, which I mentioned in the last video, the wilderness season or the isolation season. People say different things. It's all the same thing. I want to start off by sharing, so my book club, we are reading, or we're about to finish this too. We're reading this book called Deep Country, 5 Years in the Welsh Hills. This book, I want to say I recommend, because I do, but I also want to preface by saying it's not an easy read by any means. But it's such a great and wonderful intentional read that is going to challenge you. Now this book, I've never heard of this book before. It literally came to me in a dream, y'all. Not even just any dream. Y'all, I had the flu. And it was the first time I ever had the flu, and I had like a crazy wild dream. And the words Deep Country came to my mind, and looked it up, and sure enough, it was a book. And yeah, months later, my book club started reading it, and it's been a time. But basically the premise is this man who's our writer, he deliberately, intentionally, goes to the harsh Welsh Hills, which is basically the wilderness in England, and lives there by himself in total isolation for 5 years. 5 years by himself, no people. I mean, he occasionally sees someone, but that's his intention, right? Wild, that anyone would choose to do such a thing. I think we all have those moments where we're like, child, I'm trying to drop off the face of this earth. This is getting ghetto. Take me off the grid right now. But I don't think any of us would actually make those I mean, some people, you got that, but most of us wouldn't really want to do that. So the fact that he actually was like, yeah, no, I want to do this, but like not even just and like I want to get on Survivor kind of thing. No, like so I want to read two quotes from the book. So page 24, he said, "I had decided I would start with nothing and work my way up to a bare minimum. I wanted to know how lightly I could tread on the earth." And then on page 27, he said, "I am by no means an antisocial person. In fact, I had hitherto lived a life in which I chose to surround myself with people. And now I wanted to know who I was when I could no longer define myself in terms of my relation to others." That's deep. That's deep. When I read that, I was like, I don't even think I belong here. I don't even think like I should continue to read this book because you're on a different plane of existence. Because I could never. This book is one of like, it really forces you to look yourself in the mirror. And that's what makes it so hard. It's not only just like a really challenging book to kind of read through. It's a slow one, but it forces you to look at yourself And he shows up in such an intentional way that blows my mind. So often in this walk, you're gonna go through cycles of being in the wilderness season. Like, I'm learning that's just what it is, okay? Definitely did not know that upon signing up. But definitely found out real quick. The way he goes into this wilderness, and I think this is why God really put this on my heart to read this book with my book club, is see the contrast. And this man is so intentional with the fact that, like, he knows he's going into the wilderness, and he has such a beautiful heart posture about it. It literally says, I want to see how lightly I could tread on the earth. What? We're so used to, I want more. I want to see how heavy I can tread the earth. Like how much I can, that's kind of the energy we give sometimes. And like, both those quotes just remind me of, yeah, that's exactly why we go into the wilderness season. That's exactly why the Lord leads us into the season, because he needs us to no longer be attached to this world, but to him. Our roots need to go deep in his love and in who he is. And if only we were all that intentional going into the wilderness season, like, yeah, this is going to be a season that's going to really challenge me, and that's cool, because I'm going to learn these wonderful things. That sounds wonderful. I would love to have that heart posture. However, that is not the heart posture I had at all. Well, to be fair, there was a lot of ignorance on my part. Did not know that was a thing. I thought the hardest part of this journey was fasting, which that's kind of, especially when the Lord calls you to a fast, be like, whoa. Okay. Yeah, I did a 40-day fast. It didn't start out as a 40-day fast, and that's how he got me. He got me good. Okay. Keep it going, because you gotta do me like that. Don't tell me the full thing. Don't tell me the full thing, because yeah. But yeah, if only, I wasn't as ignorant to kind of how this kind of goes, right? And like the children of Egypt, the children of Israel, they left Egypt and they went right into the wilderness. They weren't expecting that. They was like, where that land of milk and honey. You know what I'm saying? And he said, here's some manna. I got some manna for you. You like that? It's good, ain't it? Same thing every day. Can you imagine eating the same thing every day? Well, I digress. I won't get into all that. This book has challenged me so much, right? In that area of just the heart posture that I have going into the wilderness season, and now reflecting back, like, sis, on the outside, everything looked put together, right? But behind closed doors, oh baby, I was cutting up. You wouldn't the conversations me and the Lord had, it is his grace and mercy that allows me to still be here today. Because I wasn't friendly, I wasn't happy. I was much like the children of Israel, just like, what is this? I was so frustrated. And also what was frustrating was looking around. Y'all ever heard those moments, or like you're in situations where something really bizarre is happening, and so you're looking around like, do y'all see what's going on? No one's saying anything. And you're just like, that's how it feels, because no one really, I had to go out and ask people, like, hey, yo, so I read in the Bible, in Exodus, about this, like, wilderness season. Does that apply to all of us? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, got it. And so I feel like I just wish we were a little bit forthcoming with that information. And that's something I noticed in this season too, is like, God really is revealing a lot of different things about myself that I did not know at all were things that I was going through, that I was doing, that I was operating under. he also stripped a lot of things out my life, and I was like, can I hold on to that real quick? No? Okay. All right. And it's oh my gosh, what a jarring experience, especially you come from living in the world, and the world is such a facade of reality. It really doesn't even it skews your understanding of life and suffering and all these things. You just become such an entitled person in the world, and then you get saved, and then you're like, entitled? I have nothing. I can't do anything on my own. I am not worthy of the, it's such a shift, but it has to happen because God is trying to do a work in you. That is what that season's about. It is him trying to do a work in you. And I think about one of the most gangsta conversions in the Bible, our boy Paul, who was originally called Saul. He was blinded on the road to Damascus. And he was fasting for 3 days and 3 nights until the Lord sent someone to restore his sight. And I think about that, and I'm like, this man did not know if he would ever see again. I want to be clear about that. Something I realized later after kind of diving into it. We read it like, oh, he was only blinded for 3 days, whatever. And that's, that's not bad. No, but he didn't know he wasn't gonna not be blind for the rest of his life. And that's how it feels in the wilderness season. Like, I don't know when this is going to be over, because he doesn't let us in on all the details. So you're just going through it. You're just in there. You're in there. He will do whatever is necessary to get you alone and isolated. And unless you're like our writer for the book, and you're welcoming these things, it's going to be challenging. It's going to feel like, in the most dramatic sense, death. But it's a stripping away of things that don't serve you, that don't serve God, that are not in alignment with his will for your life. It's completely just removing the distractions, removing what feels like any and everything out of your life, and so it's jarring. I do want to be clear, but goodness, there's such a reward in it. And we'll break down the isolation season, the wilderness season, a bit more, like very specific things. But I definitely want to talk about like the initial, like going into the wilderness season is very challenging. Hebrews 12:1, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. In Jeremiah 10:25, a time is coming, says the Lord, when I will punish all those who are circumcised in body but not in spirit. So like I said, it's a stripping away. Things are being taken out. So it could feel like a huge loss. It could feel like you're experiencing nothing but failure. Like, that's literally what I was experiencing. I thought I was the baddest thing since sliced bread, in my work and what I did. And then I experienced this one really horrific, traumatizing gig. And I was like, what's this? Because I'm usually on it. And I failed. I failed miserably. And then the Lord said, yeah, I want you to put that down now. I'm very grateful to myself for the fact that I did that. It didn't take too long. He told me that day, and it took that day to do it because I didn't want to. But had I not, who knows what would have happened. And I think at that point, the fear of the Lord was real, because I was already experiencing a lot of different things at that point. So I was like, okay, yes, sir. It was hard. So when he told me to let go of those my like freelance work, I was not a happy camper. I was sad, but quickly he gave me peace about it. And that's something I also want to remind us, is that he'll always give you peace about what he's calling you to do. Like, he's not just saying to do stuff just to he's not a dictator. Yes, he's sovereign, but like he's not a dictator. He loves you. Like everything is working out for your good. And so if we keep that in mind, like, okay, you're calling me to do this very hard thing, this thing I don't want to do. I can't see the full picture, so there must be something I'm missing, and so I just need to trust you. That's literally the heart posture we need to go into it. And that knowing that we're learning something. Again, in this season, he is shedding things from us, you know, just getting rid of things that do not need to be. It's not going to go forward with us in this next season that he is bringing us to, right? So embrace it, because honestly, yes, the wilderness season is wild, completely wild. There's no way around it. So much like the author of that book, the writer, if we just learn to, I guess, just embrace these seasons, the seasons of hardship, the season of lack and all of that, and realize that he is still present, he's still with us, he still loves us, we can, one, recognize his goodness in all of it, and then also, two, we can become more aware of like the wonderful things that are happening because these things are being taken out of our life, like the lessons that we can learn, and just see a lot of it as protection too. And also, what I've been recently learning, there's a setup, because a lot of times he takes things away or allow certain things to happen as a setup. So we'll get into that too later. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about just walking into the wilderness season, because like, again, the children of Israel, they were ready for something completely different. They were not expecting manna at 5 a.m. every day. They were not expecting that. No one could have expected that. Okay? So I hope this is encouraging. I hope you don't feel alone in the isolation season, which we'll also break that down too, because that's a part of it. There's so many different parts of like the things you experience and kind of go through in the wilderness season. So we'll definitely break all that down, because there's no way to just one video talk about the whole wilderness season. But at least just like that initial, just we're going into it. And I challenge myself on the next time around. It's okay to tarry on that. But to go into it, especially when I start recognizing like this is the season that I'm in, because it is the cycle, right? Go in with a completely different heart posture, like, okay, yeah, I am going to learn something in this season. There is something to gain, and I'm gonna just pray to God, please don't let me miss that. Don't let me miss what you're trying to do in me and through me in this season, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video, or this episode. And I look forward for you joining in on the next one. Oh, please leave comments. Let me know what also you were thinking upon realizing you're in the wilderness season, what that looked like for you. And yeah, let's get this conversation, this dialogue going and started. So I love you dearly, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next video. Bye, y'all.